Joined by Aykan Erdemir, a senior fellow at the Foundation for Defense of Democracies, which is a nonprofit foreign policy institute. He's also a former member of the Turkish Parliament. Thank you so much for joining us. We're looking at these pictures. They are amazing, breathtaking, the amount of people who have taken to the streets. Tell us, how strong is the dissent right now among the Turkish people a year after this failed coup?
I think at this point, Turkish people both very united against the coup, but at the same time extremely polarized. We just had another rally, the Rally for Justice, a week ago, and also there were 2 million people, mainly affiliated with the opposition in Turkey. Now, the unity stems from the fact that all 4 political parties in the Turkish Parliament were against the coup and they resisted together last year. So that's the source of unity in Turkey. And that mood was reflected in the post-coup consensus at the rallies. But since then, I think the Turkish society has been more fragmented. There is now a 50-50 divide between pro-Erdogan and anti-Erdogan supporters. President Erdogan has used the failed coup as pretext to consolidate his one-man rule under a new executive presidential system. And there is a pushback from the opposition. So today, as we have seen with the commemorations in Istanbul, the mood is very fragmented.
I see. So since this failed coup, the government has been accused of clamping down on the civil liberties of the people there, restricting the media, ordering thousands of arrests. How has life changed? Is there a way to quantify it for the average citizen?
Turkey is still under a state of emergency declared 5 days after the abortive coup. So today it's hard to speak about rule of law and due process in Turkey. And President Erdogan recently said that Turkey still needs to continue with a state of emergency. So it means that for the average Turk, there is a lot of uncertainty. That is, your average citizen is afraid that he or she could be rounded up the next day, property confiscated, with little access to an attorney, no attorney-client privilege. So it's very challenging.
Well, you talked about a fragmented population there, 50-50. Do you feel like this week of rallies will do anything to unite the country and bring them all closer together?
Unfortunately, as we have seen with the 2 rallies, pro and against Erdogan, the country is more divided than ever. The President Erdogan's speech today at the commemoration was extremely polarizing. He attacked the main opposition leader. By the way, Turkey's 3rd largest party, the pro-Kurdish HDP, has its co-chairs in jail, so they're pretty much pushed out of the parliament at this point. I think Turkey really needs a lot of effort and a lot of wisdom to overcome the ongoing tension and polarization that we see today.
So do you feel like he's using the state of emergency to actually target the opposition figures?
Practically, that's what's happening with since the abortive coup. The opposition has provided full support for the investigation into the coup. And in fact, the opposition has been urging the government to look further into the political links of the coup plotters. But Mr. Erdogan has chosen to instead focus his energies on cracking down the opposition.
So you feel like democracy is still a ways away?
Unfortunately, the coup might have failed, but Turkish democracy is still the victim.
All righty. Well, thank you so much, Aykan Erdemir. We really appreciate your time on this important day. Thank you.
Thanks for having me.